Welcome back everyone. In this tutorial again, we are going to continue our discussion on HTML styles in CSS. So quickly, let's get started. Today we are talking about CSS margin. So what is CSS margin? The CSS margin property defines a margin space outside the border. That is, it controls the space outside the border property. This is the border that we specify. For example, when you want to style your p tag, you use your p tag along with the border. This is the border property. Now the border property have what? It has this two pieces. The size, we specify the size, we specify the type, which is solid border, we specify the color, which is the border blue color. Now when we want to use the margin, we want to control the space around it, the space outside it, we are going to use margin. So that's where the journey starts. So quickly, let's go there. Let's go and change our computer, our files. But in our former tutorial, this is where we stop. We stop here. So now, if you haven't know how we got here, these blue lines you are seeing here is the border we are talking about. These red lines here is also the border. So now when we want to specify the space inside this one here is when we use the padding. If you haven't watched the tutorial we discussed about padding, you can watch a tutorial before this one. You have to get to it and watch it to see how we did this one. The space inside this one here, now inside the blue lines here, is the padding, but the space, the white space outside it, is the margin. So quickly, let's use the margin. Now you can see here is our border property, here is our size, the size we gave it, here is the solid blue, the type of the border, and here is the blue, here is the solid, the type of the border that we want, and also here is the blue color that we assign to it, and here is the padding, the space around inside the space inside the border. Now let's use margin. Let's use 100% first to see if percentage works with it. Yeah, wow. When I reload it, you see what happens. Definitely it works with it. Can you see? It's created a budget, like a very big space outside it, outside the blue box. You can see very big one. Can you see all this white space? So now let's decrease it. Definitely percentage works with it. Give it 5 and reload it. Can you see? Now we reduce it to 5. Let's give it 10. Can you see? It works. So to specify the space around this, you have to use what? Margin. So now let's do the same thing with this. Wow, it works. Go back to your HTML file. This is the wow, it works. So we use the p tag, right? So get back to our p tag. Here is the p tag. So we want to do what? We want to specify. We have already specified the border. If you don't specify the border, it will never work. So you have to specify the border first. If you don't know how we specify the border, go back to one of our tutorial. You get to understand the deep things on how we specify the border. Now let's specify the margin. Margin, we want to give it 15%. Let's give it 15% and reload the. Can you see? We have created border on this one also. So now this one is having margin outside, and also the second one is also having margin outside. The margin outside this one is 15, and the margin outside our h1 tag is what? Is 10. So now I think you are getting the point. The point is that margin specify the space around this red, the space outside this red. That is this white space. The white space outside here is the margin, but the white space inside here is the padding. The white space inside here is the padding. If you want to enlarge this one, this padding here, you can watch one of our tutorial where we discuss about the padding deeply. So first thing I want you to understand clearly is that I use percentage here instead of using px, which is pixel. I always like to use the percentage first, because to work fast it's very good to use percentage. I'm advising you now, if you are trying to work fast and neatly, you have to try to learn how to use this percentage very well, because it's really makes your work go faster. So let's say we use pixel on this now. You will see the space will not big like that. It will not quickly give us the big space that we can work with. Can you see? With the 15%, it's like we are coming gently. But when we use percentage will make the thing big at once, and it doesn't mind when we, let's say we do it with this one also. Let's use here, we use let's use pixel. When we use pixel, you will see what will happen. 10 pixel. Can you see? The margin there is not that big at all. So but when we use percent, wow, it will show what we are doing quickly. It will not stress us at all. Can you see? Now we can work, and when we turn it to mobile view self, it will work. You can see everything works normal. It doesn't affect our document. Everything will work normal. So when we control it in a normal way, so there's a way we can check the mobile view also, but I will tell you in the future tutorial, because we are still beginners, so we need to know the thing that is important first. So you have to know the roots first before we can continue to the advanced level. So this is the root I'm showing you guys now. Now here in our h1 tag, we specify the padding and margin. That's why you can see the space inside here, that is the padding, and the space outside here, that is the margin. You understand? So when we specify the padding here, we use this, if you notice very well. So you can also use percentage like I told you here. So I just did this so you can also get to understand, get informed that this percentage is very useful, make your work get more easier, like what can far. So you have to understand it very well. So I think I am done today. Once again, Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. If you haven't watched the tutorial on how we link our CSS to this head file, so you have to watch one of our tutorial. We have discussed about it, how we link this CSS, how we write all this. So watch our tutorials so you can be able to get to understand how we link everything. Like this is an external external CSS. You can check tutorial on external CSS tutorial that I did on this tutorial. So I wish to see you next time. Thank you for watching this tutorial, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.